Hi guys, this is a video on the snatch pair that I mentioned I was adding at the start of this week. It's on the USDCAD. It's a pair I've decided to use based on just some of the back testing and the forward testing I've been doing. When I first brought out Phil first brought out the direction zones, I pretty much did the forward testing on every available pair really. I had about 15 charts open just to get used to obviously the new trays, the new setups, and also with a view just to see which pair to add. I narrowed it down slowly but surely, and I've come to the USDCAD as the pair at the moment, which based off the back testing and the forward testing I've been doing has gone quite well. The trend has been quite smooth on it really. So this is just a video on that. So starting off, it's exactly the same process as I go through with my core trades. Start off on the 480-minute chart, identify my direction areas. So the blue boxes there are obviously areas where I'll be looking at for identifying a trend or a direction. So the first box I would use is this one. As you can see there, first of all I was looking for shorts, and price flipped around, peaked through the high of that direction box there, so I'd have been looking for longs there. Didn't really do much before price ultimately turning back round, going back through the short area. So ultimately looking for shorts from all the way, I think it was the back end, the last sort of week and a half of August. So short basically all the way down until the next direction zone developed, which was down here. You can see that second blue box with the yellow lines on it. That was the second direction box. It was away from the previous one, so that new box could then be used for direction. And as the price unfolded, then ultimately it was still looking for shorts. It's never threatened the upper level there for the longs, so it was just looking for shorts. So I've basically been looking for shorts all the way down from sort of middle of August there really. There is another another direction box that has developed sort of last week, but that overlapped the previous one, so that was ignored for the direction. So again, it's exactly the same for my core trades on Euro yen at this stage, just identifying the directions and watching the price action from there. The only difference is now I will go to my lower time frame, which is the 89 tick chart, to identify the entry patterns. If I just zoom in slightly on the larger time frame so we can see where we're at the moment, we can see this is where we are now. This is the live bar. The previous bar to that straddled, the previous completed bar to that straddled this lower yellow line, so that's my short area, so I'll be looking for shorts there. As it happens on that bar, I'll be looking for shorts through the low of that bar. So I go to my lower time frame entry, mark off the short trigger level that I'm interested in, which is the blue line there that I've just highlighted, which is the red line on the chart. Then looking for either bias changes or pullback entries through that line. As you can see on the CAD at the moment, there was a bias change entry up here this morning of the higher low, lower high, and then there was that lower low, that bias change entry that we look for. That happened well above the short trigger level, so the bias is already pointing down, so I'll be looking for pullback entries at that point. So the first bar to go through the short area was that blue arrow that you can see on screen there, just where the cursor is. I'll just highlight that blue arrow there. That's the first bar that goes through the short trigger level. So once that happens, looking for the pullback, so it's the first bar not to make a new bar low. That happened at that area there, so that was my short entry. As it's a pullback, all I did was place my void level at the previous swing high, so that was all the way up there. basically what I was looking for. If price was to go up above that line before triggering a trade, then that entry down here will be cancelled. And the trade ultimately didn't reach there. It had a slight retrace and then triggered. So what I did is I took the highest point of that retracement after the trade had triggered, and that is my stop loss. That's for the pullback entry. So that's there. So we've got entry down there, stop loss at the red arrow there. So that's my pullback entry. Entry was at 0300, and on the CAD for me, the intraday targets are 10% of an average day's move, which works out at 10 points. So I take off 10 points at the first target, another 10 points at the second, another 10 points at the third, etc. And then the swing trade targets, which are 10% of an average week's move, for me on the CAD is 35 points. So it's similar to how my euro dollar targets stack up. The only difference is it's 5 points less on the intraday targets. So that's it basically. That's the first trade for me that's triggered on the live setups on the CAD. That's a pullback. You can see price has gone in my favour. It's not quite reached first target yet at 0290. It's got as low as 0289 and 8/10. I'm just looking for it to, obviously, because I'm looking to sell and then buy back. I need the price to make up the spread, which is about 3.2 points at the moment. So I was needing price to make up that. So it's not quite clipped off first target yet. So I'll be hopefully looking for that to happen. But that is ultimately what's happening. So I've got the dollar CAD that I'm going through on the snatch at the moment, so just the one trade. Alright, as usual, thanks for watching my video. Hopefully have a profitable week and day. Alright guys, thanks a lot. Bye bye.